What's going on, guys? Got another comic book haul video for you. Picked up all these books from the Lexington Toy and Comic Con in Lexington, Kentucky. It was about 2 weeks ago, around the first weekend in March. They do a all weekend show. They do a preview night on Thursday, and I went down on Friday all day. The Thursday night preview night I went a couple years ago. They're only open for 4 hours, and it wasn't quite enough time to get through all of the booths. So I felt rushed when I did that. So the last couple years I've just gone on Friday, which is the first full day of the show. Just get there at noon, spend 5 or 6 hours digging, and not rushed at all. So that's what I did this time. I was really happy, came away with some good books. So the first kind of run through lap I did of the convention floor, I just checked out all the dollar books. There was probably maybe, 10 or 11 vendors that had dollar books, so I went through almost all those that I could. There was a few vendors that had stuff. It was mostly newer stuff, so I could tell that by looking through the first couple boxes, so I just kind of went through those pretty fast and then spent a little bit more time with the vendors that had the older books and picked up some good stuff. So I'm going to start with the dollar books, then I picked up a couple of $2 books and a couple of $4 books. So just go with the, start with the dollar books and then move up from there. First one here, I got He-Man and Thundercats #3. Just a cool crossover series that Freddie Williams did. He did all the covers and the interior art on this 6-issue miniseries as well. So really liked that. And this is, I've only got a few. I think this might be my first He-Man Thundercats. I know I have the Injustice Thundercats or He-Man Injustice crossover. There was another crossover too that Freddie Williams did that I really liked. So I was happy to find this. Then picked up Silver Surfer #45. Just a really cool Ron Lim cover with Thanos and Mephisto on there. It's the newsstand version, so even better for $1. It's not in great shape, but it was for $1, so I needed this for my run. I had this originally when I was collecting back in the early 90s, but when I sold all my books, I got rid of it, so I was happy to find this one. I'm slowly trying to piece all that Volume 3 Silver Surfer together, and I was happy to find that one. This one is Of Myths and Men #1. I grabbed this one. I thought it looks like kind of early Jim Valentino or Phil Foglio art, but it is not. It's another artist. I can't remember the name, but I looked on the inside, and he did all the interior art and the writing as well. But it's kind of a fun indie comic book. Picked up a couple issues of Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Life, Universe, and Everything. I think this is the second or third book in the Hitchhiker's Guide series. I know the first one was just Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I can't remember if Life, Universe, and Everything was the second or the third. So there was, what was the other one? Restaurant at the End of the Universe, and then Mostly Harmless. So that's book 1, and then I got book 3. So it's just kind of fun adaptations of that silly Douglas Adams book. Got a couple of Infamous comics. Got #1 here. This is based on the video game back from the mid-2000s. I enjoyed the video game a lot. It's a open world game where you play this guy Cole. He's on the cover here. You have electrical powers, like you get to suck the electricity out of like power stations and stuff, and you can shoot people with it. Like lightning bolts out of your hand, really cool. And then the traversal in the game is a lot of fun too. You can slide on power lines. It's kind of like rail sliding when you're on skateboards. So that was fun. And then you could fly and float by using the electricity from your hands to kind of like hover around and stuff. So it was a really fun game for the PS3. And they did a 6-issue comic book series for it. I found #5 probably about a year ago at a half-price book, so I was really happy to find #1 and #2. They go for a few bucks too on eBay too. The first issue is probably like $30 or so, so I was really happy to find those. Got some Beavis and Butthead goodness. Got #5 there. Just slowly trying to piece that run together. I've got some of the early issues. I've got #1. I had to pay a little bit more for that, unfortunately, but love the old Beavis and Butthead cartoon, so I was happy to find #5. Got some Bronze Age goodness here. Got Captain Marvel 38. And it's a nice chunk of Captain America Bronze Age books here. Got number 216, number 231. It's a cool cover. And 246. Find somebody on the elevated train. 335. Not a great cover, but you know, for $1, can't beat that. And then got some older X-Men as well. Some Copper Age, I guess. 176. It's a cool Cyclops cover. 182. Good Rogue cover. And I'm recording this the day after I watched the first episode of the new X-Men 97 animated series. That was a continuation of the old 90s X-Men cartoon. So I really enjoyed the first episode. So I'm looking forward to that. Hope it's good. It's very nostalgic. It sounds like they got all the voice actors back from the original. They all sound the same at least. So if they're not the same actors, they're doing a good impersonation of them. 185, another good Rogue cover with Storm on there as well. 189. 190. Not sure who these people are. It says special guest stars Spider-Man and the Avengers, so they're probably on the inside for a panel or two. And 192, got Colossus, Rogue, what's that? Warlock from the New Mutants on there, and then Nightcrawler. So pretty cool. Nice chunk of older books. Really happy to find those for $1. And yeah, so all those were $1. The next stack I'm going to show you was from a booth. They had a ton of books. They were all like $3 a piece, but then they also had, if you buy 5, they were $2 a piece. And they had a whole bunch of Bronze and Copper Age stuff, so I went a little crazy on those. So these were all $2 a piece because I got enough to get the deal. First one's not Copper or Bronze, just Infinity Gauntlet, number 4, just a cool Thanos cover. I have this cover on a t-shirt that my wife got me a few years ago, so I always liked that. And Infinity Gauntlet was my introduction to the Marvel Cosmic stuff, and Jim Starlin holds a special place in my heart, so I'm really happy to find number 4 for $2. Got some more Captain America goodness, another Spider-Man cover. That's 266. 213, got Falcon on there. 206, that looks like a Kirby cover. Let's see, kind of tell by the faces. I don't know if they have it credited on the inside or not. Let's open it up. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Edited, written, and drawn by Jackson Kirby. So that's pretty cool. He's got the distinctive Kirby faces on the cover there. You know, he did those floating heads a lot on those older comics. So I don't know, just kind of a style thing. But can't go wrong. Let's see, 204. And let's see, this one's got the sticker over it. This is 199. He had a whole bunch more that I left behind just because I see the Captain Americas in the mid to later 200s a lot more than the lower 200s, obviously, especially for $2 a piece. I could have probably filled up a short box with all the stuff that I wanted that this guy had, but I was kind of had to be a little picky and not spend too much money. But grab some good stuff. Another Kirby cover there, 196. And 182. I think these might be my earliest Captain Americas now, so that's pretty cool. Got some early Moon Knight, number 11. These books have cooled off substantially since the show came out, so you start finding these in cheaper bins again, so I'm happy to find this one. I've got number 1 and his first solo series, and a couple, I don't know if I have any of the other earlier issues, but that went up to about like issue 30 or so. So I'm slowly chipping away at that. And then the Mark Spector Moon Knight run, I've got almost all of those. I got all the Stephen Platt issues, thankfully, because those are really cool. So really happy to get all those. And then I've got most of the early ones are all of like 1 through 25. I remember I bought those in a lot a few years ago, so gotta finish out the 25 to 50. There's a smattering of issues that I don't have. But anyway, this is Nova number 7. Slowly trying to piece this Nova Volume 1 run together. Do not have issue 1. That'll be the most expensive one, I'm sure. But again, these have cooled off substantially in the like the post-COVID kind of slowdown. So that's good. You can find these in the cheaper bins again. So that was number 7 and number 6. And then found a good chunk of these Captain Marvel books. Really happy about these. Rarely ever see these in the cheap bins anymore. So they're $2 a piece. I think I bought all the ones that he had that I didn't have. So I got 52, 49. That's a cool Ronin cover. 48. And again, I was the Infinity Gauntlet kind of exposed me to the Marvel Cosmic stuff, and Captain Marvel was dead by the time I started collecting. I remember that What If Captain Marvel had not died. I remember that came out in the early 90s, so that was kind of my introduction to Captain Marvel. So I never had any of these issues when I collected before, so I'm real happy to start grabbing these and piecing as much of this run together as I can. So that's 45, and then the last one I got here was 39. So then just a couple more books from this one seller. Got early X-Men, number 161 for $2. Cool Magneto and Professor X cover. And then early Fantastic Four. It's a little beat up, but again, for $2. Can't pass that up. I'll take this one out of the bag. It's got some writing on there, some little marker and stuff. The spine's beat up, but still all the way intact. No staples popped or anything, so it's really cool. Early Fantastic Four. I believe that is Mr. Kirby as well, so can't go wrong. And then the last book I picked up was not Copper Age. It was this Prophet San Diego Comic Con exclusive from 1995. This one was $5. This was in the I think that he had, in addition to the $3 bins that were $2 if you bought 5 or 10 more, whatever, he had $8 bins, and if you bought like 3 of those, he'd charge you $5 a piece for those. But I just grabbed this one Prophet. He gave it to me for $5 because I had a nice stack going. And I think this is just a reprint. I don't know. Look at this. It's line art. I haven't even opened it until now. Looks like there's no words or anything. That's cool. So there's no words. And this is all Stephen Platt on the inside too. That's really sweet. I had no idea. It's a nice surprise. Beautiful Stephen Platt line art. Really cool. Yeah, lots of splash pages, lots of the 90s extreme goodness. And this one goes for, I don't know, $70 or $80 online, so I knew it was kind of hard to find when I came across it. Anytime I find a Stephen Platt book for cheap that I don't have before, I will snag it up. So I was real happy to find that one. Alright, and then this last stack, just 1, 2, 3, 5 books, but 3 of them are the same. These were all $4 each. So like I said, I did the first lap of the convention center. I just did a lap of the floor, the show floor, and looked in all the dollar bins. Then I went back to the booth that I just showed you and bought a whole bunch of $2 books. And then this last booth, he had a bunch of $4 books. And I usually don't shop in the $4 books just because it's a little pricier than I want to spend for a stack of books. But I was glad I went in these boxes. I found some fun stuff. Got Marvel's. I think this is book 404. Yeah, this is the last one of that first Marvel series that Alex Ross did back in the 90s. He kind of burst onto the scene with this, with his painted style, and then yes, this is the first printing because it's got the acetate cover. I'm gonna try not to bend. Let's see, there we go. So really cool And then, yeah, I recommend this series a lot if you've never read it. It's really cool. Kind of street level stuff told from the normies perspective when the superheroes first kind of burst onto the scene. And just beautiful Alex Ross art on the inside and the outside as well. And then, so that one was $4. So that completes the first Marvel's run that I have now. So I was happy to get that. Grab this ASM 363. This is early Carnage. This is what, 361 was his first full, so this is like third full or whatever probably. So I was happy to grab that. And then the big score were these 3 copies of X-Men 297. So this is the Pressman variant, and this is these are all 3 signed by the artist. And these were just sitting there, not in bags and boards or anything. Let me see. I still haven't put them in bags and boards. I probably should. I looked at the artist. Doesn't have it on the inside for some reason. But Brett something, Barry something, I don't know. I'm terrible. I looked it up a couple weeks ago to verify whose signature it was, and it looks like it's the signature of the guy that that did the interior art. So if you don't know these Pressman editions, there's like 3 or 4 variants that you had to get from there's an old X-Men board game published by the Pressman company. That's why they're called the Pressman variants. And I think like X-Men 11, that one's a sought after one because that one's got a gray cover, or the background is gray, and that was the last Jim Lee cover that he did for X-Men on that before he went to Image. So that's that iconic cover with basically the whole team on it with Wolverine in the foreground. They've got T-shirts of it now and everything. And then I can't remember what the other Pressman ones are, but this one's 297. You can tell it's the Pressman because it's got this red font color on Song's end, and then the X-Men trade dress is gold. So those are, I can't remember what they are normally, but I think that might be yellow or something, and that's red. They might be reversed or something on the normal ones. But when you're looking for these, you look for the gold trade dress and the red Song's End logo. And like I said, these were $4 each, but the graded copies, I haven't seen any raw copies go on eBay. I mean, go for a couple $100. So I'm not sure how much if the signed copies are gonna. I don't know if those will command any greater value. Probably not. Maybe a little bit, not substantially more. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with these yet. I just grabbed these to sell these because I don't collect the Pressman or try to find them. I always look for them just because I know they're worth money. So I'll try to sell these. I'm not sure if I'm gonna grade them or not yet, because I think they're in pretty good shape for just sitting there in the boxes without bags and boards. The pages are a little yellowed, but other than that, they're in pretty good shape. So yeah, I was happy to grab 3 of these. Like I said, it was a nice surprise checking those $4 boxes because I normally don't, but I was happy to do it this time. So anyway, that's going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.